You are now listening to Between Us Girls, the podcast, where we discuss life's fuckeries and then some over wine.
Danielle
and Sharonda,
and this is
Between Us Girls.
If you haven't listened to our, I'm not gonna do that voice. If you haven't listened to our show before, thank you for listening. You can find us on social media everywhere, pretty much. Twitter at Girl Talkin' Wine, Instagram Between Us Girls Podcast, Facebook Between Us Girls a Podcast, and you can join our Facebook group. Just search Between Us Girls in the groups. You can listen to our awesome show on SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and iTunes, and also TuneIn. I can't remember who it was, but somebody had a special speaker. TuneIn was the podcast app. Echo something or other.
I don't remember.
Anywho, our fan of the week this week is the one and only Shaky Brit, the other Sharonda.
Hey.
She's a good friend of the show, best friend of these girls, and we just want to say thank you for your support and always being 100%.
All right, thank you for the wine you provided us. Well, that we actually took from your house.
Yeah. That it was that was it Trader Joe's?
Yeah, the Trader Joe's wine. Yeah. And she's always listening to me when I'm complaining about Michelle.
Oh
wow.
That's sweet. I have a person too, but I won't name them. All right, so today we have with us the always crazy and ridiculous Tiffany Hodge.
Oh, hi. Ridiculous?
She is a realtor and an expert flirt. Now, she can help you find a house, but you're going to be searching for a fuck because she has yet to find one. Mm-hmm. So, Tiff is here to talk with us about how to flirt, and we're going to talk about a very real issue. Is it important to be friends first before being in a relationship, and what does that mean? Yeah, important issue. I said that. I said that.
All right.
I said it because it's so important.
It's very important.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and so we also have a game for our boo to play with us. It's going to be more of a hot seat, but it's a game. So, Tiffany, say hello.
Hi.
Oh, my God.
I love it.
Yes. Look at Sharonda over there searching for the vintage of that wine, and it ain't on there.
It's not on there. It's killing me.
Sharonda, what is that wine?
It's killing me. There's no vintage on here.
I know.
This is Liberty Creek, and it's a Chardonnay out of California. It's an extra fucking large-ass bottle.
Hey, my mama gave me that.
Thank you, Mama. Shout out to Mama. And there's no vintage. I just can't. Just take it. Get it away from me.
My stepdad got that, I think, from the liquor store. I don't know why it doesn't have a vintage on it, but they sell it at Total Wine. I mean, you can totally buy it there, so it's a legit wine. Just doesn't have a vintage on it.
You just don't know the year that you're drinking.
Yeah, they're like, we just made this last week.
Or did we? Looking at us.
Okay, so let's talk about how to flirt, because I don't know what that is. Tiffany, you mentioned, you were like, doesn't everybody do the same thing? Like, I don't know. What do you do when you flirt?
Usually, I feel like the most important thing to flirting is just like kind of being open to every situation. I mean, I do it sometimes unintentionally just because I don't have expectations of people. It's just something that I want to say to them or something that I want to tell them. If I walk up to a bar and I may see a guy and he has on nice cufflinks, I may say nice cufflinks.
So you give a compliment?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes I just say, what are you here for? What are you doing? You know, it just starts that way. You know, just no intentions or just really no thought of what's going to happen next, but just making a conversation.
So is there a difference between giving someone a compliment and being flirtatious?
Well, it starts out that way, and usually the guy takes it to the next level if he's interested.
You know what's so weird is I don't think I'm very good at flirting. And the majority of my relationships have started because I cussed at someone.
Really?
Amazing.
Yeah.
That does not surprise me at all.
Well, they like crazy, right? Right?
Exactly.
But at the same time, people will tell me that I'm being flirtatious, and I'm like, no. Because I just talk to people. I guess it's the same kind of idea, but...
Right. I think the difference is, like, with those people, you know them.
Yeah.
You had a somewhat of a relationship with them before you cursed them. You didn't just walk up to them at a bar and curse them. Really?
I mean, not necessarily curse people out. It's like, just when you talk, it's like, what the fuck? Or, y'all know me. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. But I'm not, like, just outrageous with it. But I don't think I'm flirting. I'm just like, oh, hey, that's awesome. That's cool. What the fuck is this? Or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, no.
I am so awkward, like, trying to flirt. Like, I can't even do it. Like, I'm not even
Well, how do you meet guys? Like, what do you do?
I don't.
Heavy sigh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
So, like, if a man approaches you, do you just smile?
Hi.
Oh. Well, you never, for me, sometimes I'll see, like, an interesting person, and I just want to have a conversation with them. Like, if you look different, you may be a white guy with dreads, and you may have extra tattoos, or you may be just an odd-looking person. I just want to have an exchange with you. It may not even just be flirting, but it may be perceived to others as I'm flirting with them. But it's really, I just want to pick their brain or have a conversation. Or if we're sharing the same space, you're in the same area with someone, why not just be open and ask them how their day went?
I guess that's why people think I'm always flirting, because, like, I just talk to people. I talk to all strangers, male, female, whatever. I'm like, oh, you're a stranger. We must chat.
Right.
So I think people feel like maybe I'm flirting, because, I mean, like, that's kind of how you're describing it. But, like, to me, that's not flirting, because I'm like, I don't even like you like that.
Yes.
But I'm just
that
like...
initiates it, though. What she's saying initiate. And I'm the same way. Like,
See,
I
want
to talk to the weirdos. If you look like, what are you doing here? You don't even fit in this crowd. I'm talking to you.
Right.
Yeah. And then it turns into flirting, like, depending on how they receive your conversation.
Right.
And then you go back and forth with it,
If y'all could see my face right now, I'm like, ew. Because I feel like, I would feel like I didn't invite that. I was just having a regular conversation.
Yeah.
And for people to start feeling like they can be, flirtatious with me or make an advance, I'm like, where did you get that signal from? Because all I did was say, man, that's a really cool shirt. Or whatever, like Tiffany was saying. But then they receive and they're like, I know what that means. But, like, for me, like, that's just regular conversation.
But, I mean, the way in your body language will say it, too. It's not like you just, ooh, nice shirt. Like, that's not it. But, I mean, if you just say to somebody, oh, nice shirt or whatever, you're kind of cut and dry with it, then nobody's going to say, hey, come here, let me flirt with you.
Right. So if you say nice shirt and you kind of turn away after that, then that's one thing. But if you say nice shirt and you're suggestive and you touch it and you may, that's another thing.
And you're still standing there facing him and,
Right. I mean, I've picked up guys on planes. I've picked up dudes, I'm sitting next to.
But that's why we have
bars.
you here for this, because you pick up people, like, everywhere and you're so good at it.
Yeah. I mean... Well, it's just talking. And, also, some people say that they don't like rejection, or they don't like the idea that maybe, they wanted something from another person and they didn't get it. For me, it's just, like I said before, it's not, I don't expect anything from it. It's just initially just saying hello and, what they're up to, what they're doing, or where they're going, and that's it, And if it's,
Yeah. Well, I found a list of tips from Wiki, which I really enjoy these because I have these bullshit pictures. Have y'all ever seen? Look at these photos,
girl.
Oh my God,
they're awful. Let's see. Flirting in person. They say make eye contact. Look into his or her eyes when you talk. Okay. Smile. I guess that's an obvious one. And start talking.
You can sometimes forget to start talking too.
Danielle.
Okay. Just stared at somebody.
And then there was this one, body language. Keep your stance open. Don't cross your arms or legs. as these are generally signs that you wish to isolate yourself. Like, I would have my arms crossed, like, cool shirt. Yeah. Break the touch barrier. So that is the thing. Because I would never touch a stranger in that way, I don't think.
You don't want to go and hug a stranger? But weren't we just talking about a minute ago?
But see, to me, that's different. Like I feel like that's not like flirtatious to be like, you're a mom, I'm a mom. I respect what you're doing. I love you and I bless you. Is not the same as great shirt. Tug a little bit at it. Wink a little bit. Smooch.
But we were just talking about touching, though. So you don't want to touch a stranger?
So are we talking about flirting or are we talking about the social experience? This is why I don't like dating.
Okay, move on.
Then it gives a list of things to do if you're going to flirt via text message. Hey, how's it going?
That's what you're supposed to say? Is that like the what you do in text? Yeah. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
And then it says, did you see or hear? And then it says, insert event you both know about here. Like, don't do that shit, please. And then it says, don't talk about yourself too much.
Mm-hmm. So you're supposed to, like, compliment them and make everything about the other person. Mm-hmm. And... like, how is it that you're coming on strong, though? Like,
wait, then the number 5 tip is be bold. And this is what they tell you to say. I hope you know you're gorgeous, beautiful, amazing, and my favorite person to talk to. And then you're supposed to
block.
say,
am I supposed to be like that attentive?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a bit
ridiculous.
That's
and it
extra.
Says, sorry if this is too forward. But I have to say that you're an incredible person. If you don't get the fuck out of here. But then they turn around and say, don't come on too strong. Like,
but you're the best person I want to talk to. You're the but then that's not strong.
Yeah, but don't come on too strong because, So these are the tips that people are out here getting about how to flirt. This is why we need Tiffany to tell us what to do, because otherwise they're going to be looking at Wiki and looking at these pictures and failing.
My flirting pretty much extends to like in person. I don't know that I mean, because the text message takes a lot more effort than just to have a conversation with someone because they're sitting there. You know, to text message means I'm out of their space and then I'm taking it the next step. And I don't necessarily want to do that.
You know what you said the other day that cracked me up immensely was that inbox is the lowest form of communication.
Right.
What?
I agree.
What?
1,000%.
Yeah.
I wasn't
we were talking about
personal and just
right.
You're just a regular bitch. You're just a regular motherfucker that I just
an inbox on a social media.
Yeah, like people who use inbox as their primary form of communication, like they're not putting forth any effort. Because first of all, you didn't even have to ask me for my number.
Oh yeah,
you didn't have to.
Well, I feel like and my ex always does that too, but I feel like it's done because you want to erase the evidence of it.
Yeah.
So if you're sending someone if I'm a girlfriend, I'm not checking a social media account for messages. I don't. I mean, my first thing would be the text messages. So I mean, it's the lowest. It's the absolute lowest. It's lower than phone calls. It's lower than emails. It's lower than text messages. It's at the bottom. And
and it takes no effort.
Right.
It's nothing. No, like
you're searching, you're scrolling, and you're like, oh, let me just.
Right.
What's that?
Let me message her.
Right.
Like, right. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just thought to myself, wow, that is so true. That is like
mind blown.
Mind blown. Inbox is really the lowest form of communication.
But that's why I never had Messenger and shit installed, and I have to like make an effort to make myself.
Yeah, we need you to do that though.
It's installed, bitch.
Oh my God!
Stop trying to turn shit around.
Oh, you don't like it when the shoe is on the other foot?
Oh, got it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So let me ask y'all what it means to be friends first, like before you start dating or whatever. Because
I don't even quite understand that shit, because to me it's like, aren't you becoming friends as you date? Like what is up with the separation? Like,
okay, this is what I think in my opinion, what it means. For me, it means that if I have a friendship with you, I'm really less likely to give you a hard time. Oh. I am less likely to be like more of a nuisance in your life if you're my friend. Right. Like, we don't take ownership of I don't take ownership of my friends. Like, I want the best for my friends, you know? I want to see them grow. I want to see them do good things, but I don't want to harass them and constantly. They're not an extension of you. Right. I mean, when it comes to relationships, I think a lot of people, they take things personally. And I think that if you're friends with someone, you're not going to do that as much.
You know, one thing I read, it said people who are friends first, the little quirks that break them up or break people up, like, doesn't break them up because they already know the motherfucker weird or, you know, stuff like that. I guess this is people who've been friends for a long, long time. But, like, I kind of agree with Danielle because I feel like I think that's kind of one of the fun things about going into a relationship is getting to know a person. Mm-hmm. And the longer you're together, you grow together, and that's where you learn all those things about the person. Now, it's up to you to say whether or not that shit is going to irritate you for the rest of your life or whatever. And I think that's, you know, one thing that's really good about long-term relationships is that you've decided, okay, you get on my fucking nerves. Or whatever the issue is, but I'm going to keep you because, you know, I accept you for who you are. Right. Sharonda, you're thinking?
I'm listening.
I kind of feel like, though, while that's a pro, a con would be like maybe a lack of passion. Yeah. You know, because it's like you're already an old-ass married couple. When you first start dating.
I'll just feel like I have a better relationship with my friends. Like, I have decade-long friendships, and I think that when people say that, that's what they mean, is having more patience. Yeah. And I have an extreme amount of patience for my friends that I don't even have for my family. So it's just having some of that.
So would you date somebody that you've been friends with for a long time?
Yeah.
But why, though? Like, I don't see anybody in that same light that I'm friends with. Like, because if I've shared stuff with you that, like, I will share stuff with you that I don't necessarily want my partner to know. Okay. So that's where the line is kind of like weird with me. It's like, you know, how do we move past the fact that I'm not going to say what I was about to say. I was about to say something about, like, okay, never mind. Like all of the afraid. But like, how do you move past some of your sexual exploits that you shared with a person and say, oh, you know what? I think I want to give this a try.
But that's that vulnerability, you know. It's it's okay because that person accepts you.
But but do you really? I mean, I don't necessarily share with my guy friends people that I have sex with. Yeah, I have my girlfriends. Of that.
Yeah, I don't really have any guy friends.
Do you do that, Danielle?
Yeah, I mean, if we're friends, then I mean, I say whatever comes to mind. Like, I'll share with a guy friend anything that I'll share with a girlfriend. Like, that's how I see it. So it's like, I don't want to sleep with my female friends, so why would I want to sleep with my male friends? Like, in my mind, sure? Other than Michelle right now, like, I'm a little gay for Michelle. Right. Oh, okay. The fuck. But yeah, that's how I look at it. So I don't really see a difference between the two. So if a guy tells me that he want to be friends first, I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Friend zone.
But sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. Maybe it's a situation, right? Yeah. Like, maybe he's friends with one of your friends. Oh, yeah. So you become friends with him. So it's not like y'all decided
it's more implied. Right. Yeah. I don't think that anybody should ever go into a relationship. We are going to be friends first. Right. No. Yeah. My opinion, that means that's like,
a lot what people do, though.
I mean, I don't know. I just, like, I feel like me and Omar are friends, and I think that we were friends first, and it wasn't. And no matter how much, like, I mentioned it as we were dating, like, we're kind of friends, and he's like, we're not fucking friends. I don't do this with my friends. But no, I'm like, I get it.
Friends, you liked him, though, from the very beginning.
Did I?
Yes, I remember.
I liked his assholeness.
You liked him. I remember.
I liked his assholeness. Don't give him too much credit. Let's just calm that
all right.
down,
So
okay?
let's not give him a big ego.
No, I'm just playing.
But if you like a guy and he says, "Let's be friends first," how is that going to make you feel? Like legit?
No, but what she's saying.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying like we were friends because like we would joke with each other and like go back and forth with Biggie lines, or we would talk about Jay-Z or just like shit that we like. Like we found what we had in common.
The romantic relationship was secondary.
Yeah, we matched each other on so many other different things. Like we made jokes about people that were like in the fuck your feelings group that we were in. We made jokes about this one guy. Like we laughed about that shit for like 3 hours because we just kept going back and forth talking about it. So to me, that was us kind of building our quote unquote friendship
and that's
it turned
what she was saying. Like, and what I said, that to me is almost better because
I feel like you build it during
you
that's the
dating.
Most fun
and
part.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Like
I'm just saying it's more implied than it is like, hey, we got
we got to be friends.
It's not. I don't see it as a separation. They're just friends first. Like in the situation, they're gonna always keep. Well, like I said before, it's not. It's less of. It's more of I'm gonna remember why I like this person, and less of this is who I have sex with. You get what I'm saying? Because in some relationships, their mate is not who they confide in.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that exists, and in her relationship, she's saying that's
right.
It's her friend.
I think that's really important because ultimately, and like this is one of the things that I read too, and not to say that like once you get to a certain point or you get old, you stop fucking, but sometimes you're not going to have that, the sexual right. And you gotta like that person,
right?
Or you're not gonna be together because you're gonna be like, well, we're not fucking, so
right.
This ain't the bitch I want to talk to, or whatever. Just like we're saying,
Like I really don't want to be friends with you. If I want to have sex with you, I don't want to be friends with you. Like that's just real talk. Like I'll just seriously.
But I agree with you when you say like tell them things because I have friends that I may want to fuck or sleep with, So I don't tell them things. I mean, I just don't feel comfortable sharing. Right. If I'm attracted to them in that way, I don't feel comfortable sharing certain things with them. I just won't, Right. And that's because I'm like putting them like as like an
option.
An option, So, no, because men are very, which is why I lie to them most of the time. They're very judgmental. They're very judgmental. I do.
That's why they always want to know your number.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. Like, why would I tell my friends?
Get off me.
Like, I'm about to go to Miami. I'm not telling any guy like what happens there because it'll automatically be, a
judgy.
Yeah. No. Like they don't need to know.
So I feel like we compartmentalize these people. Like Danielle's like, okay, so you're in the friendship compartment. That means you will never see my naked ass. And if you see my naked ass, we will never giggle about somebody I'm making fun of. So how do you think you'll be able to find a person where you can do both with?
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's possible. I just think that if you make that stipulation from the very beginning.
Friends first?
I'm not going to be interested in you.
Yeah.
Like, it's just automatic. Like, you tell me friends first, my automatic thought is, oh, okay.
You want to just be
You just want to be friends. Right. And you want to try and test me out to see if I'm going to work or whatever versus dating. And then, like, also I think about how exactly does that work? You say that you want to be friends first. Okay, so then we go out somewhere. Does that mean that we're going Dutch? Because if we go Dutch, you best believe we are motherfucking friends.
And like, Danielle might leave you at the place.
I might leave you.
Right.
And then, like, at the end of the night, I'll probably call somebody else to go sleep with. Like, that's just how it's going to be.
But do you know that same guy who said he wanted to be friends first would have such an issue with you being like, what?
But you can't even have an issue because your claim is.
No, I don't know that they're saying that. Are they saying
that?
Okay, if they're saying friends first, not only I'm fine with going Dutch, but I'm taking somebody out of the bar. Like, I'm like leaving with somebody else. Like, I mean, because friends first just means you're friends. It means there's no room left for anything else.
Right.
When you say that.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Right.
So it's like, to me, you're not really interested in dating me, or you just want to do a test trial run of pre-dating.
Pre-date.
You know what I mean?
What's that shit called? Pre-talking or exclusively talking?
Exclusively talking.
Who is this?
Oh my God! This was like way back in.
I don't even remember.
Oh, I don't know what group it was.
It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago about like pre-dating, exclusively talking.
Yeah.
Like, you're not.
There's no such thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just like, okay.
I'm just. Oh my God. Yeah. Exclusively talking.
I feel like that was like a Jesse thing.
I don't know. I know somebody said
I'm
it.
calling Jesse out right now.
Like,
I don't
I've
think he
never
listens.
heard a straight man say, "Oh, I want to be your friend first." That just,
I feel
I've
like
never heard that shit
they
before.
say that because they're trying to make sure.
I mean, you
that
can
know
name
that,
guys
like,
that have
even
done
if
that.
you do have the sex, you're not going to be dating.
I've never heard a guy say that.
Me
I have,
either.
and I've
Never.
been in a lot of situations, and I've never heard them square it off to where there's not an option of.
Oh, I just feel like we should be friends first. Like if
No,
a
I've
woman
never heard
brings
that.
up,
I've heard it.
Well, maybe you're right. Maybe I've heard it, but maybe I took that as like he's not interested.
Yeah.
So there was no option of like having sex. There was
Right.
no option of any of that because he just wants to be cool.
y'all
like,
see
that's
how
not-
you are denying yourself the punani? Stop saying that stupid shit.
Yeah, because I mean, if you like me, then why do we need to be friends first? Like I feel like we build the
Maybe he
friendship.
don't like you.
That's
If
what
you-
the
yeah.
thought is.
Yeah,
is
but
that
that's
you
what the thought
don't-
is. So if
Yeah.
you tell me you want to be friends first, I'm thinking, oh, you don't like me in that way, so we're just going to be friends.
Yeah.
So if you actually want to know me outside of being a friend and like maybe perhaps date me, and I actually think it's more of a money type situation than anything. You know what I mean?
What?
Because dudes are like, she's going to want me to pay for this date and we go here and it's going to be expensive. You know what I mean? Like, I really think it's more of a financial type.
So that you'll pay for yourself.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that's what it is. That's just my thought. Like, I don't know. But, I mean.
This shit is so difficult to
It's
navigate.
so
No, I don't think it's money. I would think that it would be more interest. I mean,
Well, because I think that guys are really concerned about whether a woman is using them for money.
Yeah.
So that's where my thought process comes from.
Tiffany's
You know,
eye roll.
like women are concerned about being used for sex.
Yeah.
And men are concerned about being used for money.
well, but it's the people that don't have money that are the most concerned about it.
Exactly.
It is honestly.
it is.
No, because let me just explain to you. Like, okay, so as a single woman, and as a single woman with time, I mean, I could be doing a lot of things, right? I mean, an attractive woman. I mean, I could be in New York this weekend. I can be here. I can be there. I mean, married men approach me and they say, I'm married, but I can do this. So if that was my motivation, it could be done very simply. I don't have to, meet the guy at the random dude at the bar that wants to be friends because he doesn't want to take me on a date. I mean, if it's your money that you want to protect, this is not the way because you're not even in that. You're not even in the same space. You're not even in the same universe. You're not even in the same universe of being close to it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the girl that's into that. The girl that's into that is not even looking at you because you're
Right.
not even it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
It's so true.
Seriously,
Tiffany
I met
said,
an
watch what
investment
you
banker last
say.
weekend and an attorney. I mean, like, what? That is not even you're not even in the same on
And
the
they
same
don't
planet.
even care about that type of stuff anyway.
Right.
Like, that's not in their thought process because they have it, and if they want to spend it, they spend it.
They will.
Right.
Yeah.
And they lead with it. They're like, here, I'm married, but this is the situation, and
Right.
come to Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Like that's. But I mean, the guy that's here and that's trying to take you to Papados, like. You're not
Are you serious,
right.
bro? Like,
and
get
this
the fuck
counts
outta
for
here.
a lot of people that I know. Like if this was what I was impressed by, you wouldn't even
You wouldn't have made the cut.
right.
Right.
Just been
You're not
somewhere
even top
else.
20.
Yeah.
You know, like so it's like
Oh, Tiffany out here hurt.
Tiffany basically said, watch what you say because your words determine the amount of money that's in your pocket.
This is true. That is very true.
Well, just
Yeah.
by saying, oh, well, it reminds me of, I can't remember who it was. Somebody, one of us was, well, not one of us, but one of y'all was going to go out with you and Jen. And they were like, well, you pick. Oh, well, I don't have money for that.
Oh, that was me.
Okay, yeah, that was you.
Yeah, that was me.
But like you just said right there, I'm poor.
Why are you coming to me and you ain't got no money? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Like, let's not go out.
I don't want to ever have a conversation about dating though and like money, because I think that women, and I've said this before, I think that women really kind of, at least I do. I don't, whenever I'm on a date and I'm expecting you to pay. But if we go any further than that, I mean, you don't have to pay my bills. You don't have to pay like any other thing. So, I mean, if the most you're doing, if I'm having sex with you a lot and the most you're doing is buying me food, I think that's, you're winning. That's a win for you. Yeah. So don't fucking ever approach me about like buying dinner. I mean, that's not, you know what I'm saying? Like that should never be a conversation that I should be having with you. Exactly. And I'm just not going to have it. I am
that's some real shit though. Like, real. Like, why the fuck am I talking to you?
If your penis is going in my mouth, I don't want to have a conversation about Maggiano's.
Right.
Like,
But you can't buy me some fettuccine, but I'm sucking your noodle. Right. Nigga, come on. I'm sorry, I said the N-word. But really, like, come on. I feel the same way. And I think a lot of the people that we know, the guys that we know, they say some ridiculous shit about, you know, spending money and dates and stuff like that. And like, if we're in a relationship, yeah, I'll treat you, I'll pay for whatever. But they're talking about like the first or second date and they're like, well, the woman should pay. In what world? When is that ever going to happen? Like, it's not.
Never. And
what, okay, so.
And you're concerned about somebody gold digging from you.
Like, that's stupid. Like, don't date. If your main concern is if your main concern is whether or not someone is going to take your check, then just don't date. Because we're out here. Like, you ask a woman on the date, you probably gonna pay for the food, and then don't be like. I went on a date with a guy one time. He told me later that he was really nervous I was going to order 2 drinks because he only had like $30 in his bank account.
You know what? I have a serious issue with that. Like, if you don't have money, then just don't go.
Right.
Or either plan something where you don't really have to spend money. Like, you could always go to a fucking park.
Right.
Like, you know, and hit a food truck up. Like, just say, hey, would you come with me to IKEA or some shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it don't have to be
because
like
time spent is what's important.
Right. Like, it doesn't have to be like a dinner date.
But see, that's them trying to look a certain way rather than just doing what they can afford.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, but I kind of think that sometimes, like, when you're in a situation where, okay, so if there's ever a point in time where you only have $30 in your bank account, why not just spend that on yourself?
Right.
Don't spend that on me. Like, don't even ask me out anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
I just don't get the mentality of some people. Like, if that's your reality, if that's where what's happening in your life, just don't. It's fine. You don't have to date right now. Like,
right.
And we've all been there. I mean, you know, I haven't had a job like my entire life, but I wasn't out here trying to date people either. So it's just. Don't
and that's another issue because it's like if you. I think have we talked about this?
What?
If you're not in a position to date, should you really be dating?
No, we haven't talked about that.
Okay, well, we'll touch on that in the future, but I think that's a whole other issue. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, that is because, I mean, yeah, you don't need, that's just.
I mean, everybody wants companionship, but, like, make sure that you are good. Because really, ultimately, when you're in a position like that and you're trying to date and you're, like, scrambling to, like, get money together, scrape money together, you're not going to feel good about yourself.
Yeah, you need to be straight with you first.
Right. Yeah. Or maybe you should just date at your level. Yeah. Like, if you know.
So just waste somebody's time.
No, but if you.
No, but what
I'm saying, if you know you have $30, your girlfriend should be like going to TSU or something. Like, it shouldn't be a situation ever where you should be trying to. Yeah.
Well, a real adult woman. I mean, there's a young adults. Right. Like somebody who's like, you know, you're 30 or 30. And you're like, please don't order 2 beers.
So, like, go get you a teenager.
Yes. Or somebody 20.
A college student.
Right.
Yeah.
They broke too. Y'all got the same thing in common.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
You know.
This is fucking funny.
You knew Tiffany was going to be ridiculous. That's why.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, it's true. No, but that's like, that is like one of my like pet peeves is like men are worried about their money. It's like, stop.
I mean, I really think that is their concern. Like, they don't want to be used like that.
But again, like I was saying, they win like 90% of the time. Like everything is about them. Like everything is about them. The whole situation is about them, and we end up constantly worrying if we're enough for them, and they never ever consider that worry. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that thought.
Well, I don't know if they never ever consider it, but they'll never reveal that to you. They'll do something like cheap. Or
they definitely don't
dumb shit, you know, like something stupid. Instead of saying, "I'm concerned that I'm not worthy of you," instead they'll just be like, "Oops, I fell into another piece of ass," and then they're not going to express themselves in that way. So I'm not going to say they never have that worry, but you're right about everything being about them. Us, we're always having to, you know, stroke their ego,
right?
And,
absolutely.
You know, make sure that they
be concerned,
feel good. And,
you know,
baby, all right.
They're so needy, right?
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And they like to act like they don't have the same amount of feelings as women do, but because of that fragile ego, and I hate to say that because I don't want anybody to be like, "Oh, men don't have fragile ego," but they do. Just like there was a post in our group the other day where it was like, "Oh, I don't."
Well, we have a fragile ego too.
Yeah, we do.
We have a fragile ego, just like them.
But the question was, why didn't this woman tell her husband that he wasn't satisfying her sexually? And the guy, and I think it was Sean, he asked, "Well, why don't y'all tell men?" And somebody was like, "Well, they won't be able to handle it," or something like that. Anyway,
there's a way that you say things, though, right?
Yeah. The sandwich method is perfect.
Right.
How you say it.
The way you say it.
The sandwich method is perfect, I think.
What is that?
It's like basically a compliment in the beginning. "I really love the way you love me. Your sex is whack."
Yeah.
And then, "But you treat me like a princess," etc. Something like that. Anyway, you put the negative in between two positives. That way it's not, and this goes for men or women, but that way it's not as abrasive. You know, like, "You're always fucking up," or "Every time we have sex, I'm dry as fuck because whatever."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think people usually say it when they're upset.
Yeah, instead of communicating at another time.
Yeah.
We're like way off topic, but it's cool.
Way off topic.
It's fine though. I'm really glad you came. I'm really enjoying our conversation.
Thank you.
This is the epitome of girl talk. Girl talk and wine. So, we do have hot seat questions for Tiffany. Danielle is going to lead the troops into the hot seat. Are you ready?
I guess.
You guess? You better get ready. This is like heated. It's like, it's really warm.
Okay.
Okay.
For sure.
First question. Marry, sex, kill. Naomi Campbell. How did I'm tipsy.
Marry, sex, or kill?
Yeah.
Okay.
Naomi Campbell. Bradley Cooper. Rihanna.
Oh.
I know.
Oh my God. Can I have sex with all three of them?
No.
Well, everybody knows I love Riri
I
and
know.
Naomi Campbell. I would have sex with all three of them.
No, you can't do that. You gotta choose. You gotta kill one.
I'm killing. Unfortunately, I have to kill Bradley. I wanna have sex with. I think Naomi would be very difficult. I think me and Rihanna's personality would be closest. So I'll have sex with Naomi and marry Rihanna.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who killed Tupac and Biggie?
Who killed? You know, I'm not really. Okay, I watched a lot of O.J. Simpson when I was on vacation, and like his trial and everything like that. I don't really know about. I'm not really informed about like the cases of them. I miss them though. Like I remember where I was when Tupac died.
I do too. Like I was at home and I remember seeing it scroll across MTV News. Like I was just like, what?
Right.
And I cried. I had an emotion.
Yeah.
It was sadness.
Yeah.
You cried over Tupac?
I did because I was like so connected to him.
Tupac.
I'm so confused by this.
Yeah. No, with Tupac, I probably was the most, like, everybody was more shocked when Biggie died. But because everybody kind of expected Tupac to die at some point because he got shot so many times.
Yeah. And all of his music at the time was kind of like foreshadowing.
Yeah. For the both of them too. Ready to Die and
okay, so who should the black delegation trade for Ben Carson? I know you love Ben Carson.
I can get why he gets a bad rap, but I don't think that. I think that like his political views should be really separate from his life, like the life that he lived. I think he's a good person. I think Ben Carson stays.
What? Oh my God.
Yes,
oh my God.
I think he stays. Well, I was actually reading an article that my company sent me about like him as the HUD secretary. Mm-hmm. So I'll have to. I don't know if it was positive or negative, so I have to read about it.
She's like, I was reading an article, but I don't know what was in it.
Yeah, I saw it. I can't really remember it. Well, they were just saying like what the outlook is because he is now the secretary. So
okay, so if you could be someone else for a day, who would it be and why?
Someone else for a day.
Yeah,
I would probably trade lives with one of y'all.
What? Really?
Yeah.
You don't want this life.
Like when you were just talking about that would be so interesting to not really your life, but to your mentality of like what you think about, like what goes into that, you know, of having to constantly think about somebody else because I've never had to really have that thought process.
Yeah, like I'll be like, man, I can't wait to go on vacation and get some time for myself. And then I'm like, let's call the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what that's like. So that would be something that would be different.
Were you in a clique in high school?
No. Well, I think everybody has a clique. Even people who like claim that they're outsiders, they have a clique.
They have friends. They be in a clique.
Yeah, they're in a clique. So exactly. So I was in a clique, but I like to be thought of as like an outsider.
Like an outsider?
A loner?
Okay.
Yeah, I think I isolate myself sometimes. Like because I don't, when it's a group kind of like think, I don't really follow that. So I like to exclude myself sometimes, like even when me and my friends get together, like sometimes I'm like, if it's too many of them, I'm like, no, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I had my friends, but I didn't think I was popular at the time.
At what age did you fresh run out of fucks?
I don't think that I'm out of fucks.
Really? I feel like you don't know yourself.
Out of fucks means I think out of fucks means like you don't.
Oh my God.
Out of fucks means that you don't really consider other people.
Yeah.
I think that I consider other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
do you think that?
You don't think I feel like you do, but I think you consider Tiffany always first, which is fine.
But I think that's really like how you. I'm all for being selfish.
We know.
Okay. Let me get out of this conversation.
Well, no, but it's you. I consider other people, but sometimes I want to know why people think that way. So if I ask them something directly, I may not agree. So I'm wanting to pick their brain on why did you go there? Or why do you think that?
But it's not necessarily that I think you're selfish. What I think is that you just speak.
Right.
You know, you're not like, oh, well, this might hurt someone's feelings because you will say some shit. And I'll be like, oh my God, Tiffany. You're like, yeah, I think you always look good in red. I really hated that pink dress.
Well, but
shit. I'm like,
to me, well, no, I will say you look good in red, right? I'll say I hate the pink too. I say that.
Tiffany, you need to, if you could go look at your activity on Facebook.
No. But I kind of feel like if I say that, it's not intentional to hurt.
Yeah.
If I say that I didn't like the pink dress,
but that's what I'm saying. You're not necessarily being selfish or ugly. You just speak.
Right.
You speak.
Right.
And you don't let society or anything like telling people we could all lose weight.
Right.
I think you need to lose 15 pounds or
at
whatever.
All times.
Like telling people who people be like,
couldn't you stand to lose 15 pounds? It's right.
This fucking bitch.
It's the truth. All of us could. Are you kidding?
I could definitely stand to lose 15 pounds. But that's what I'm saying. Like, people who give...
But why would that hurt your feelings?
That doesn't hurt my feelings.
If you know what I'm saying is, why would that hurt your feelings?
Oh my God. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
Why do I defend that?
But I'm saying, like, but some people might be like... Oh.
That would be awesome. Like, if okay, because I think I posed this before, right? I think I put this question up before. Would you rather have like $10,000 or $1,000 or what, I don't know what the number was, or lose 20 pounds. Most people would take the fucking 20 pounds. And I mean, that's the truth.
Okay, all right. So
that means that you should lose 20 pounds. If you're thinking that you would rather it over money, you should just do it now. Right?
Okay. So what is the biggest misconception about you?
I think we're talking about it.
that you really care about that 20 pounds that you have sitting on your waist.
That I care?
Yeah, you care about other people's 20 pounds that they have sitting on their waist.
No, I mean, that's not really it. Because for me, I feel like people should kind of, if I'm friends with somebody, like I would want them we talk about everything, right? So this is what me and my friends do. We talk about everything. So if there's something that, you know, I feel like I need to work on, or if they feel like I need to work on, like we kind of share it, you know, and we do talk about stuff like that constantly. Like, you know, I do things to myself, my body, my friends don't necessarily agree with, if I go get injections, if I do this or that. But this is what I do. I mean, you know.
Okay, so have you always been able to live in the moment?
Yeah.
Best advice you would give your younger self?
I like that question. To not take things too personally. To live for yourself more and not really be concerned with what other people think about you. Because I think that
really, I feel like that's you right now.
Right, but when I was younger, but when I was younger, I think I internalized it a lot more. Like I tend to think like right now, like what other people are feeling about me is not really who I am. It really has more to do with them.
Yeah, that's very true.
So if I say, you know, damn it, you know, I'm overweight, or I feel like I need to lose weight before I go to Miami. If you have a visceral reaction to me saying that about myself, there is something, and people do. There's something that's wrong that you don't like about yourself,
right?
You know? So so I know that about myself now, and I know that about the world now, and I think that I didn't know that then.
So one night stand with Idris Elba or Ryan Gosling?
She's like,
no threesome.
Right, you can't have them both.
Okay, one night stand. I would probably choose Ryan Gosling. I think Idris Elba would be too difficult for me to just have a one night stand.
You think he would be difficult? Really?
I think I would. Right. I think that I like more of from what I know about him. I would, because of his mind, I would want to be with him in a more permanent way. So I think that Ryan Gosling would be the best option for just like a smash and dash.
Yeah. So, favorite place you've traveled?
I like Paris.
Paris?
Yeah.
Weirdest place you've had sex?
Weirdest? I don't want to know. I used to date a club promoter. We would fuck in the club. But I don't know if that's weird.
It's not weird. Yeah.
Oh, I had oral sex with somebody, like, in a bathroom, in a hotel bathroom. But my friends were like it was a bathroom that was, like you could see through it's like a shade situation.
Wait, receiving?
Yeah, receiving.
Okay.
Yeah. It was fun.
I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you rather a younger guy or older guy?
Younger.
Why?
More understanding, less jaded, more fun, relaxed, more spontaneous. Younger men tend to like lean on you and let you kind of like lead the situation, and there's some control that I like about that. So I understand. For my experiences that I've had, from my experience, you know, I would prefer younger.
So would you rather not have sex for a year or have sex every day without an orgasm?
Not have sex for a year. I don't like unfulfilling sex. I don't have sex that I don't like.
Do 4 out of 5 men have you fucked up?
Yes, they do.
That concludes.
Yes, they fucking do. That's the truth.
You are so dumb. Did you see me ask somebody that? When they said they didn't watch the show, they're listening to the show, I was like, okay, so here, let me find out what the fraction is for how many men have me fucked up.
Yes, they do. God.
You are so dumb.
You know what I don't like about men?
What?
Is that they think that it's 100% about them. And that they don't, like, whenever you're with a guy, you know, and they're always making it seem like, you know, I'm here, I want to commit to you, like, as if you're not doing the same for them.
Right.
And it's just like, I'm foregoing shit, too, to be with you. Like,
right.
They feel like it's like an uber obligation for them to be there.
Right, like, you don't make any sacrifice.
Right.
Period.
You don't have nothing else better to fucking do.
Right.
It's almost like they feel like women have less options than they do, and it's a completely...
You don't have to be with me.
Untruth.
No, you don't. Yes.
Completely untrue. Completely untrue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit is fucked up.
We had fun. How'd you like the wine? Is it good?
Yeah. It's a little bit too light for me or something. I don't know. I think I'm buzzed though.
Yeah. Like, we don't know when this motherfucker was made, but I think it did its job.
I like want some wings. Like,
I know you said that earlier.
I know, like, I feel like this wine would go great with wings.
Soon as they see me walk up in the club, I'm a flirt.
That's how you gonna roll?
I'm a flirt. Actually, when I was single, like many, many years ago, like Terrence was about 2 years old, that was my theme song.
Really?
And like I would be like, "Don't talk to me. I'm a flirt."
How could you even like? That's an old school song. I love that song.
Yeah,
that was the good old days.
Yeah, that was a good song. That was like before everybody really was like, "R. Kelly is awful."
Yeah, I know.
Was it pre?
I think that was either right before
pre-rapey. Is it? I don't know.
But it doesn't matter to me.
Because I remember Dave Chappelle was like,
"Oh my God, Dave Chappelle."
How old is 15? Really? No, but you know what? That's a good observation. Because at 15, you were doing. Think about your kid at 15.
I don't want to think
your
about it.
Your kid at 15 is old enough to say whether he wants to get peed on or not. Because that was
the issue is not so much.
Because Dave Chappelle's thing was, if I start peeing on you right now, and I pull my dick out and pee on you, y'all would know to not get peed on. You would move. You would get up.
You would move.
Right. That was his whole.
So do you not know that that's pee?
Right.
But I think the issue was more that this is like an adult man urinating on a child.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but...
Because I know, like, at 16, I was like, y'all have sex. I thought I was cool.
I just don't know, at my 16-year-old self if I would be like, oh, yeah, give me that shower.
Hell no.
Like, no.
Right.
No.
Right.
Like, you're barely at that age talking about giving head. You're not getting peed on.
No.
I mean, even if it is R. Kelly, well, at that time, at my 16-year-old, it probably would be like I was really in love with Usher.
Yeah.
Were you really?
I was.
Yeah.
When I was 16 was right when TP2.com came out. Hit it hard in the front.
Yeah.
Roll around. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
You were 16 when that came out?
Yeah, I'm about to be 33.
Okay, so I was 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just know I was in college.
That was the CD, though.
Yeah, it was. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For me, it was Jay-Z. I love Jay-Z. Not at 16, though, but...
So you would let Jay-Z pee on you?
You gotta think about it. Oh, my God. If I was at 16, though, probably.
Oh, my God.
It's not in my mouth, but...
Okay, so we want to tell Tiffany, thank you for coming.
Oh, my God.
Danielle, you going to be all right?
Oh, my God.
Oh, she's fixing to fucking die. Tiffany has killed Danielle. Thank you so much, Tiff, for coming. I don't know if you want people to
These
find
are
you.
honest conversations, right?
Yeah, that's what this is about. Like, I think this might have been our most real episode. Cheers to you.
Oh, the most real. Oh my gosh. With me?
Cheers to you.
Oh, nice.
For giving me a chance. I got one in there, y'all.
Okay.
Okay, so thanks for coming. Do you want people to be able to find you or no? You want to get famous or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
Don't try to find Tiffany. Stop it. All right. So, but you can find us at Girl Talking Wine on Twitter. Instagram, Between Us Girls Podcast, Between Us Girls, the podcast on Facebook. And you can join our Facebook group. That is, if you have a real page. Just search Between Us Girls in the groups. We can listen on SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play, and iTunes.
And a host of other apps.
Yeah. Actually, while I was down the street, I was talking to a lady. She was talking about her website, and I told her it's totally easy. She can totally do it herself. And she downloaded some random podcast app, and there we were.
Shut up.
Girl, I promise.
Oh, shit. We in this thing.
We're so famous and popular. Okay. Well, thanks for listening, Danielle.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on Between Us Girls. But don't keep it a secret. Listen and share with everyone you know. See you next week.